Right, sorry I'm a bit late coming on. I wanted to start the stream about 30 minutes ago, but I had a load of stuff I had to sort out, and then time ended up getting away from me. So if you come on, thank you for coming on. But as I said, I was originally planning on starting the stream. I was even thinking about 7 p.m. tonight, and then I had a load of stuff to do this evening, and then each task sort of took longer than I thought, and then I thought, oh, I don't want to rush it, so I just ended up getting it's 8:30 now. So hello if you're on. As well as the American-y looking winter gimp mask behind me, this one, I've now got the British equivalent, which is basically the same thing made to a lower standard. So it's, like the same thing, just made in, just a generic white style rather than the American kind of coated one. But otherwise, it's pretty much the exact same thing. So hello, everybody coming on. Also, I managed to get this light working again, because I can't remember if last time I did a stream I'd fixed that. Yeah, I've been to the Imperial War Museum in London. Yeah, it's definitely worth visiting if you're in London. But the thing is, I don't specifically choose to go out to London very often. But if you're in London, yeah, definitely check out the Imperial War Museum. Natural History Museum's also pretty good. Yeah, I'm all right, LLJ. It's just I've had one of those evenings today where I thought I'd have a load of time free to do stuff, and then I ended up getting several jobs done. And then, each time you did something, I thought, oh, I'm running out of time to do the next thing I needed to do, hence why I'm starting the stream late. Also worth mentioning, because I watched it the other day, I did watch the new version of Dune. All right, Flazzy? The new version of Dune, if you want my opinion or no spoilers, it's all right. It's not really good. It's not really bad. The new version of Dune is fine. I prefer the David Lynch one, but the best version of Dune so far is probably the fan edit of this version, where it's about the 3-hour-long fan edit you can find for free on YouTube. That's the best version of Dune because it's got the best soundtrack and visuals, but the story makes more sense. That sounds fun, Jasmat. All right, CM, I've been quite busy today, though, just doing loads of little jobs today. All right, Mike, I was just explaining to people about the Dune thing. But yeah, I did download that thing using that link you sent me, so thank you. So yeah, basically, for people that don't know, the fan edit of Dune is currently on YouTube, the original 1984 version, before it gets taken down. Whoever, made the fan edit has uploaded it to YouTube. Oh, I haven't seen it, Fluzzy, but thank you. Let me check PayPal now. I assume it was on PayPal, was it? But thank you very much. I've not seen that, no, because weirdly, I don't seem to get the, oh yeah, cheers. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. But yeah, for some reason, I don't seem to very often now get the, what do you call it? The Ko-fi sort of emails. Like, so it's only if I look at PayPal I'll notice if somebody sent it me. I don't know if it's because I've got a load at once and my email's now deciding to spam. All right, Brighto, I'm not really into football, but yeah, I get it. You get the idea. You have like certain bits where certain fans shouldn't go. Cheers, Mike. Yeah. Yeah, it's been there for a while. Subscriber only mode and the members only mode. No heart plugs in the new version, but the heart plugs aren't in the book either. The weird thing I'd complain about with the new version, there's lots of stuff in it where basically the David Lynch one is like, although they filmed a lot of footage, it's about 2 hours and 15 minutes of David Lynch one, if I remember. And that's all of the first Dune book crammed into one movie. This one is 2.5 hours or whatever, and it's only the first half of the first book. Yeah, it doesn't really do the story any better than the David Lynch one. So if you're watching it, you're still not going to, if you haven't read the book and you're watching it, you're still not going to know what's going on. As for selling new gas mask filters, hardware shops, because they have to sell new ones. The new one's worth a watch, but like I said, it's people seem to either in the reviews say it's complete crap or it's like really, really good, and it's not really either. It's all right, it's worth a watch, but it doesn't do it any better. If you want to watch Dune and know what the story is, either watch the fan edit of the David Lynch one or watch the Sci-Fi Channel's really low budget, 2-part version of Dune. That's all right. The CGI is like complete shit in that version, but it's an all right film. Wow, it's all right explaining the plot. But read the book if you really want to know what Dune is. Don't watch the films of it. But like I said, the David Lynch one's still my favourite, just because it's visually very interesting. Fair enough, Brightold. But like I said, I'm not really that much into sports to the point where I'd want to get beaten up or beat somebody else up over sports. Fair enough, CM. Make sure when you do the loft, CM, if you're putting like fiberglass type stuff up there, you've got a respirator on, because that stuff's horrible if it gets in your lungs. All right, Nick. Yeah, like I said, so if you want my opinion on the new Dune, it's all right. As somebody who's read the book a couple of times, seen a David Lynch film, God knows how many times, watched the Sci-Fi Channel's version, it's all right. Nothing special. If you're one of the people like, oh, it's so amazing, you've blatantly not watched many films or read the book. But, it's all right for what it is, but it's not good nor bad, really. I enjoyed watching it. I wouldn't really want to rewatch it. It's one of those films. Normally, Jasmat, the entire film gets uploaded online every now and then, so I just keep Googling for it until you find the entire film uploaded somewhere. I've never played Chivalry 2 in the first place, so I'm not going to start now. Yeah, good idea, CM. So is Earthwall like a new type of fiberglass stuff? But yeah, asbestos fiberglass, you don't want any of that stuff getting down in your lungs, do you? Because if it's good at insulation, it means it's also good at damaging you. I think at the moment, though, isn't Fred still on Shudder and like Amazon Prime? Because a while ago they put on those platforms. And Nick said you can get it on that site as well. That's a big update then, Rich. But yeah, I suppose it depends how fast your internet is, doesn't it? But yeah, it is annoying when you buy something that's been out for ages and then you have to download loads and loads of patches to play it. Is there any particular advantage to putting the insulation foil on the roof beam, CM? I've got Metro Last Light in 2033. I've not played Exodus. Is this music one to do with like the stuff where it encourages knife crime or some bollocks? If so, that's completely stupid that they're having to rebrand because of that. But if they're having to do that for the sake of company profits or whatever, I don't blame them. JJ says, am I interested in flight sims? Not really. I like the newest Microsoft Flight Simulator just because it models the Earth, but I don't really have the patience to learn all the mechanics of, like each flight simulator to try and play it. That sounds good, Nick. I've got something interesting coming tomorrow. Tomorrow, I've got a deactivated Galil coming. Because a website which I probably can't name because of YouTube policies on all this stuff now has got deactivated 556 Galils in for only just over £300. So for that money, I fucking wanted one because I don't actually have any deactivated 556 rifles like 545 rifles. So I thought that's a fairly modern gun for that price. So it just keeps a bit more heating, does it, CM? Rob, if you mean do you need a license for a bow, not at all. You can own any sort of bow without any sort of license. But if you obviously shot one at somebody, then you get done. Yeah, Nick, it surprised me because at the moment, if you look on lots of deactivated sites, things like M16s and all those are normally like £800 plus. So that's why I've never bothered going for like a more modern assault rifle because I didn't want to pay that money for one. But when it's this is bear in mind this is a deactivated one where I don't think much of it moves at all. I think the stock unfolds and locks in place. I think either the fire selector or the trigger or something moves. I think most of the stuff is welded shut. But even so, I still want one to compare it in size and weight and everything to like the older rifles, to show how rifles have advanced over time. Because obviously the Israelis went with a Galil, didn't they, to replace the FAL? So and I think to start with they had the Galil Heavy or whatever it is, the 7.62 one, and now it's like the 5.56. I don't even know what the UK law is, JJ, on air guns. I don't think there is a restriction, is there, on them? Well, I suppose if you mean air guns as in air rifles, I thought you meant air bows for a second there. No, you don't need a license for a sword. Yeah, JJ, it just depends on how they've been deactivated, because in some of my deactivated guns, you can open most of them up, and it's just there's been a couple of welds done to them. And in some of the other ones I've got, like, everything is welded shut. It just really depends on, like, how they deactivated them at the time. But with the face-to-face purchases, you can still order them online. It's just somebody has to deliver it to your house and sign for it to say that you've accepted it. Yeah, but it's better they get deactivated than just getting crushed full stop. Because a lot of countries just destroy guns in, like, foundries now, as opposed to, selling them on the surplus market. All right, Brighto. I'm not going to be on overly long tonight, just because I was a bit late coming on and I've still got stuff to do this evening. Because the notification system is awful, Iron Man, that's why. Depends what you wanted it for, Rhino, but an £80 pistol crossbow is certainly not going to be good for anything getting shot by it. Sadly, Oliver, I reckon at some point they will. I don't reckon traditional bows will, but as for crossbows, sadly, I reckon there'll be enough idiots that shoot each other with them, and then some whinging person will get them brought up in the media. Other than working, no. I'm going to do a Halloween video that I've not got round to filming yet. So there's a video going on tomorrow, which is kind of like just a load of footage of that mini chainsaw being used. I was going to do a full review of it, but my review is pretty good. So this is just a load of unedited footage. Well, it's not unedited because it's a load of footage put together. But, just showing it cutting through various things. So that video's on there tomorrow, and then for Halloween on Sunday, there's a Halloween special I've planned out, but I haven't filmed yet. Yeah, I suppose that's the only good thing, isn't it, Nick? That when it keeps getting brought up at the moment, they keep saying, well, we can't be asked to change the laws. All right, Tactical? I'll get Mike to link you to something again in a minute, Tactical, but we found last night, I might have mentioned it in the chat. I probably did mention it in the chat when we were on Last of Us 2 last night. There's a really good version of Lynch's Dune, which is like a recut of it, like one of the fan recuts, and it's currently on YouTube before they take it down. And it's the best version I've watched so far, in terms of it being really well cut and everything. It's better than the last version they did, because the last version is good, but it had a lot of stuff, where a lot of the cuts were a bit sloppy. Where you could tell it was, the new footage being cut in with the old footage sort of thing. But this version was bloody good. I watched the entire thing last night when I was meant to be going to bed. Yeah, I'm definitely going to be watching that, Mike, because, like I said, I submitted a video for it, didn't I? So. I suppose that's the thing, Nick, isn't it? Is how easy, like you said, it would be for somebody to make a bow or a crossbow in their house, because literally all it is a bit of string with some sort of material where the string being pulled back creates tension, which therefore launches a projectile. So it's actually in Manchester, is it? But yeah, that was the thing we were bringing up. I think I was bringing it up to somebody rich, not on YouTube, but somebody I know in person that was talking about like knife laws they found really stupid. Somebody that needs a lock knife for their job, and they were saying, it's crazy I can be on the work premises and my lock knife is completely legal, because I'm at work on private property. But when I'm walking to and from work, that technically that lock knife's illegal. We're on about that sort of stuff, but Well, yeah, exactly, Iron Man, but unfortunately the politicians only care about their own security, not anybody else's. Have you seen that one before, Tactical, that edit? Because I haven't seen that one until sort of a couple of days ago. But it's a very good version, isn't it? That one. And again, the link doesn't work when I try and open it in here, but that version of Dune is very, very good. I still need to install my 4K drive to watch that version in proper 4K, but I've not got around to it yet. But yeah, that fan edit's really good because they've actually used AI upscaling to make it 4K. So although it's not proper 4K, there's a lot of bits where it looks better quality than you'd think. Like I said, the main thing is you can't really tell now where the TV, unless you've seen the movie loads of times like I have, you can't really tell very easily now where they've inserted like the TV edit of the movie into the original like theatrical cut, because the quality looks pretty similar between both of them now. Have you seen the we might have said about it the other day, have you seen the Sci-Fi Channel one, Tactical? Because the problem with that is it's very low budget, but that's very close to the book at least. I have got some more lighters I've not done videos on yet, Callum, so I will do an updated lighter video at some point, yes, but I'm not going to rush it out. The problem is at the moment, it's a good kind of problem to be in. I'm in that issue at the moment where I've got loads of stuff I've been sent or have bought to do videos on, and I've not got round to doing videos on them. And because with how much I'm working at the moment, I'm only managing to do 1 or 2 videos a week. It's pretty difficult at the moment to get through my backlog of stuff I want to do. If you just simply reviewed knives and just did stuff like that music one that was perfectly legal, you wouldn't be breaking any sort of laws then, no. But of course, you can't guarantee with YouTube that somebody won't report you for false pretenses because they don't like your channel. But if you're doing everything completely legal, you can't be done for anything because you're not breaking any laws. That's just the way it works. Don't tempt me, Iron Man. Don't tempt me. I'm tempted to do a dry November. If I don't do the entire November not drinking, I'm not going to have very much to drink. But yeah, that's the thing, isn't it, Tactical? The David Lynch one I think is visually really good, and I really like the soundtrack and all that to it. But the sci-fi one is closer to the book. But as I've read the book, if I just want to watch a Dune film, I just like the David Lynch one because I just visually and audio wise, it's just the best one I think to enjoy. But again, I can understand why a lot of people don't like it if they haven't read the book and it's just too confusing. Yeah, the annoying thing with K-bars, AK, at least in the UK, is there's a massive import like charge on the K-bars. Well, Jardanowski's Dune wasn't made, so you can't review it, can you? Because if a film didn't come out, it can't be reviewed. I definitely was during lockdown, Rob. I've massively cut down now, but the problem is if I've not got any alcohol in the house, I'm not tempted to drink it. That's my attitude to it. But, it's one of those things where if there's alcohol around, and I feel like having a drink, I'll have a drink and then probably too big a drink. So my attitude is simply don't buy it in the first place and then I can't drink it. And that's the thing that annoys me whenever it keeps getting put on sale in places. AK bayonets aren't really designed for cutting, JJ. They're just general utility knives. If my AK bayonet is behind me, it might be. I thought I did have an AK bayonet on here. Yeah, there we go. So AK bayonets are like this. They're just sort of generic utility knife type knives, AK bayonets. Not designed to hold an edge, JJ, because they're a bayonet. If a bayonet has an edge, it won't go through the ribs as well. Most old-fashioned military bayonets, if you look at them, are very rectangular, because the idea is that you've got a sharp point, and then they go rectangular to force the ribs apart. Yeah, I've seen Jardinowski's Dune, but the fact is it wasn't a film that ever got made. He wasted all the money and didn't make it. They do. That's what that bit's for. When you put them on their cover, that's what it goes on to be the wire cutter. Anyway, I won't be on much longer, as said, because unfortunately, like I said, I ended up having a load of shit to do today, which I wasn't, originally planning on. So, in a few minutes, I've got to go start doing some more housework type stuff. Yeah, that's all right, Rob. Well, it's the same director, isn't it, Oliver? That's the thing. It's Villeneuve, or whatever that French bloke's name is. So yeah, again, it probably feels more like Blade Runner 2049, doesn't it, than actually feeling more like Dune, if that makes sense. So yeah, I suppose in a way, David Lynch's Dune is closer to Blade Runner, and this is closer to Blade Runner 2049 in a way, if that makes sense. As in, because it's the same sort of artistic style to it. I assume you're on The Last of Us again tonight, are you, Mike? If so, I'll definitely be on that in an hour or so time. Didn't do much for it, Cornholio Swag. I did a couple of things on different days, as in, ones where relatives and friends were free on days that weren't my birthday. So we just did things on those days. Right, I'll definitely see you on there tonight, Mike. But as for my actual birthday, didn't do much at all. I opened all the gifts I was given, and that was about it. Because it was just one of those days where it didn't really fall on a convenient day to do stuff with people. I've heard of Days Gone, but I've never played it. Rob, if you're on about the old 1950s and 60s things where soldiers are given LSD, yes, those are real. The US did it under Project MK Ultra. Britain did a similar thing. But basically, it was to test how effective they were as psychological warfare agents. The videos are interesting, but a lot of the stuff they did regarding chemical warfare stuff, involving LSD, is completely fucked up. As in, giving it to people who didn't know they were being given it to see if they could get them to kill themselves and stuff like that. Happy birthday for them, Rob. How much did you spend on 30 Jorg bodkins, Flashheart? Doesn't bear thinking about. Let me show you its features. There is all your money gone. That's probably what you'd say. Like I said, we don't really have a problem with him. It's just the prices of it, isn't it? That's the main thing. The inflation he charges on it. But anyway, I'll be off now. So thanks for coming on. Sorry it was a short stream tonight. But like I said, today was just one of those annoying days where I wanted to do a stream earlier, and then I was given a load of jobs I needed to get done this evening, so it kept sort of getting later and later when I was able to get on. So I'll see anybody at some Weapon Collectors stream later. Yeah, so there's a video on tomorrow, but as said, the video tomorrow is just one basically showing off that mini chainsaw. It's not even a proper review, because I've already said I think it's good for the money. So it's basically just showing it cutting stuff to prove it can cut stuff, without any edits to show that, it's if you start cutting and then it's edited to show that the branch has been cut, it's, showing it cutting completely through stuff to prove that it does it. So that's the video tomorrow. I want to get a Halloween video done, definitely for Halloween on Sunday. if I get time as well as doing the Halloween video, there'll be a Galil video before the Halloween video. If not, the Galil video will be next week. That's not too bad, is it, Lord Flashheart, actually thinking about what he costs for some things. Anyway, have a good evening, everybody, and I'll see you all later in the week with videos and streams and whatever else. Right, bye.